Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the global exclusive podcast with our current skeleton crew consisting of me and Dream. Hey Dream.
Hi, I'm here still.
Still, yeah, surprisingly though, like not many people survive an episode with me. I think that was Muspel's greatest quality, that he just tolerated me.
He geared for high barriers resistance.
He did. He is good at gearing tanks, so I can, like he probably prepared himself, both physically and mentally before going into one of our sessions. I think that's what he had to do.
Those strong mitigation buffs.
With strong mitigation buffs. Yes, yes. All right. Okay. So, I am very hyped for this week. I have been excited for a while. So,
Pretty neat one.
it is. It is. Like it's either my favorite or second favorite FFB unit, and honestly, I honestly think it's my favorite unit. Roberta. We finally got MV Roberta. So how do you feel about Roberta?
Pretty great, to be honest. It's funny, we've got
No.
one
Listen,
unit.
listen, listen. You misunderstood me. I meant Roberta as the person, not as the unit that just got released.
Is cool.
All right, good. Now you can continue.
I think it's funny that her one kit probably has more content in it than the combined 3 kits that we got last week from JP.
That's actually funny and sad because it's true.
That's true.
But you could also argue she's a bit overloaded. Like I'm saying this as the biggest Roberta fan in the world. So we have this thing in the Discord, like there's 4 of us, and we're gonna fight about who's the biggest Roberta fan. I know I'm gonna win, but I think she's a bit too strong. How do you feel about her, Dream?
I think she is very, very good, but not. I wouldn't say too good. I think because she basically does 2 roles at a very high tier, but not necessarily like pushing new boundaries in each of those roles.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like if you took Ling, gave her meta damage, and upped the numbers on everything she does. That's
Remove some
basically
defensive stuff.
yeah. Because okay, all right. You know what? Let's just do a quick intro to the unit
Yeah.
first before we get
I
into
mean,
the
first,
stats.
just with that one comment, remember that Ling is 9 months old.
No, for sure, for sure. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like, you know, okay, let me twist it, or let me turn around. If Roberta only did the damage she did, she'd still be a good unit.
I think she would be pretty average if, like, people wouldn't be that excited about her kit if it was just the damage part.
Okay, okay, fine. I tried. I tried. All right, but maybe you can tell us what type of unit she is to begin with. Like, let's give the listeners some info.
So, basically, overall, she's a combo of, like, flexible damage dealer and offensive support. Because damage-wise, she's got, in her base form, morale-based magic, or physical type magic tag chains, which is quite a mouthful. So that's elementally flexible and
And
handy for
uses
chain
physical
supporting and stuff.
killers.
Yeah. Though that's I feel like that's less of a big deal these days, but it can still be handy.
Yeah, and
But
very
yeah,
nice.
and
She's not really suffering from the, or I don't know. So I was trying to navigate your sheet, but it's still so broken. So where does she stack up when it comes to the morale damage, the magic morale damage she does in base form?
um I think she's ends up around the same level as Carton with morale stuff, which
All
is
right.
like high tier but not quite the top end of like Sky and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's not Sky and Lara, right? But
No,
it's
not quite.
close.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
So
that's pretty nice given also that it is a quad tag chain with many frames. So she alone hits over 100 hits, right?
no, her quadcasted tag chain is 64 hits.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood someone. I thought I read on Discord that she would. Okay, never mind then.
No, 16 times 4.
Okay, yeah, math is difficult. That is 100 in my mind, but sure. Okay,
Yeah.
but so she's a magic morale magic tag chainer in base form, And she
Mhm.
does have a lot of other stuff too. We're gonna get into that. But
Yeah, yeah.
what does she
A
do
lot of
when
her
she
support.
shifts?
Damage-wise, her shift form is a physical jumper instead, a dual-wield jumper, and a rare jumper who is also, like, elementally flexible,
Hmm.
which is nice.
That's true for both of her forms, which makes it
Mm,
really nice. And where does she
yeah.
land? Haha. Where does she land damage wise?
For physical side, it seems to be like just on the bottom end of where like most of the premiums are sitting, like your usual or on Tivus, Sephiroth, and whatnot, just a little below them. But so yeah, again, pretty high tier, but not quite at that top end.
Right. And it all
Certainly, like a
depends on the
noticeable
use, right?
chunk below 10 and stuff.
Like when Tyvus has to do dual elements, she doesn't, right? And she
Yeah, yeah, obviously.
so
If they're
there are some
mixing a bad
drawbacks, pros
element,
and cons. I mean, most premiums nowadays they're actually AOE. Rebby, of course, is a jumper. It's not an AOE skill. But she can burst every second turn, right? Or well, every third, technically, I guess, right?
probably more like every third, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Some setup and stuff. Or 2 in 5, probably, because most of her buffs are long duration.
Right, so we've kind of established Roberta has meta damage, not the strongest damage dealer in the world, but she is right below the premiums, basically,
High
which is
tier
still
and
very strong.
flexible.
Sorry?
Yeah, both high tier and flexible.
Yes, yes. Um, so what makes her as strong as I claimed she was before then?
Well, yeah, the other half of her kit, but most of which is shared across both forms, is she also has some pretty great offensive support. She has a full package of like imbue, imperil, and 45% amp for fire. So she can just move over left ear and Ling and don't spend crowns on rain. She can
Yeah,
do all
exactly.
that very conveniently now and all on turn one, which is nice.
Yeah,
She
it's like
has
I've used her in this cow, and it's crazy what you can do in turn one for your party. Like there's such a
yeah,
mix
really
of
nice
abilities you can
package.
choose from too.
Mm. Then she's got the remaining sort of 4 AoE 150% killers that completes the trio with Ling and Bulwark, alongside some sort of light racial mitigations.
Right, but those cost LB. Well, just like
Yeah,
Ling and Bulwark, I guess. But yeah,
yeah. But the nice thing compared to Ling and Bulwark with those LB costs is, unlike them at EX2, she has Warring Spirit from
Mm.
like all the JP units, so she
So
can start
OP.
with full LB gauge very easily, which is a
Yeah,
nice bonus there. Mm,
she has really
elsewhere,
strong buffs. We should mention that. Like she has elemental amp support levels of buffs, so she can actually buff your party with um 350 to stats and 300% LB damage.
the 300% LB is a really nice to have on another unit. So that's
It's
on both
fan
her, yeah, both her base and her shift LB have slight variations of that buff. Actually, her shift one doesn't have the LB damage buff. Noticing,
right. You're gonna have to use the base form. It still lasts for 5 turns, so you're gonna
yeah,
use your
and she
base
has true
form.
shifts. Yeah,
Yeah. And then you're gonna shift and jump is basically how you're gonna use her in like DV.
exactly.
Um,
Well, actually, if she's mostly well, that's yeah. If you're buffing for the team, obviously in DV, but for just herself, she doesn't really need to use the LB because she
yeah,
can 400% self buff with those killer moves as well, which is nice.
yeah, it's really, really strong. I love it. Like it's she seems to be, and what I really like is I can just see how useful this unit is gonna be in many different types of content. So like you've gone over her offensive support, but then she also has a AOE party dispel. A very quite rare actually, without the dispel gut trick to have a party
Well,
dispel.
yeah, that's true. It is the skill one is a full dispel, so it'll remove your positive effects as well.
Yeah, but
Not
still,
not
like
a perfect spell.
it's if you need it, it's really nice to have it
Mm,
there because it can be triple casted. Everything can be
yeah,
triple casted. She
mm,
has, of course, an enemy dispel that's not as rare, but she also
yeah,
has the nice dispel, which removes all the imperils from allies. Increase.
yeah.
She
That's
has
once every 5
10k barriers on multiple skills, right?
Um,
No, no, it's
no,
just one. Yeah, the other one is
th
10k HP.
I don't even see her barrier actually.
It's
She's
on
full on.
her Ignita's
Oh,
domain.
right, right.
Yeah.
It's on the Imperial removal.
Yes.
But yeah, that is once every 5 turns.
Yeah. So
As
it's
is her 5-stack Mirage. That's also once every 5 turns,
yeah.
but that's quite a nice tool to have.
And
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 speaking of the
her
previous dispels, just quickly, her
mhm,
Shift LB is actually a also have an ally plus enemy perfect dispel. So for that, you might want to use it over the base LB.
yeah, yeah. And I also want to swing or mention her do we call them Grandis still?
I think technically ones on global exclusives are Magnus, but
Magnus. Okay, okay, okay,
they
whatever.
function the same.
Yeah, yeah. So her Magnus ability is also really good. She can use two of them and it fills LB gauge by 40 and well, like it fills LB gauge by 40 and removes all debuffs from our allies. That's the big effect. Like it's really handy. It also comes with 45% to fire, ice, and lightning amps AoE as well. Those are not as useful because, well, she can't imperil and or imbue ice and lightning,
Mm.
right?
It's still yeah, that's true, but it is still somewhat handy for some
Yeah,
teams.
yeah. No, no, no. I mean, it's nice to have. Like, you might, like, for instance, if you're bringing, I don't know, if you're bringing somebody like Sakura and you can't use anything other than her, like, this could be a bigger amp than what you have, sure. But technically, well, I guess it's nice that it's there, right? It's nice.
Yeah, yeah, it's niche but nice.
Yeah,
It would be really crazy if she had like equivalent breath skills for ice and lightning. That would be
it would.
awesome.
That would be crazy. It
But
wouldn't be
yeah,
awesome. That would be too strong.
then I would say that would be a bit
Yeah.
overpowered.
I mean, I'm already at the boundary of thinking she's too strong with her 135% imperil, AoE. Like, okay, so just this one ability is so crazy. In one ability, you do 135% imperil, 280% stat buffs, fire arrow element imbue to all allies, and a 45% amp to all allies. In one ability. That's crazy strong. Like, I mean,
Certainly like very nicely compressed.
yeah, compare that to like Nickel or Sakura or Leftia or the others. You know, they have to use multiple abilities and they can't even imperil. It's like it's so good.
Well, Nicole can imperil technically, and Sakura should gain the ability to once, like in probably a few weeks when the new versions of Nicole and Sakura release.
Yeah, but I don't think any of them can imperil on the turn they do their LB though. That's still one of the
No, not
problems. Like,
yeah, not on the LB turn, but they can multicast it with like the skill imbue that does the 30%
yeah,
amp.
yeah.
So that's still pretty good. But
That's going to be a nice upgrade though to those because they
yeah,
have been
yeah, for
really
those two.
clunky at times to use
Yeah,
due to not having the actual imperil.
yeah. Unfortunately, like Roker and Freezier and Celeste are left high and dry. Just
Ugh.
Nicole and Sakura that get the improvement.
Well, yeah. At least Celeste has imbue and amp on her LB.
Oh yeah, that's true. She's one of the rare ones that the
Yeah.
LB does imbue, I think.
So really good unit, right? Like very
Yeah,
nice
really,
base
really good.
form and really good unit. Is there something we missed in the shift form? Well, we didn't mention that she has spear resistance. We also maybe didn't mention that she wants to dual wield spears, and her best in slot right now is two of her STMRs, which I
Yep,
unfortunately
because
don't have.
all of like her unit specific skill with the 500 flat stats and the boost of 10x modifier that should stack with two of her spears.
Right. So speaking of which, like I just said, I did not get two Rebbies. I just got one. Did you pull Dream?
Yep, I ended up going to pity because just I was like, yeah, I'm not too bothered about saving at this point, and she interests me far more than any upcoming JP unit really. So
Oh, but what
yeah,
about Knights of Grandshell? Don't they like? Doesn't their LB hit twice?
oh yeah, wow. And Tifa's hits 12 times.
Oh my God,
Obviously.
Tifa is so strong.
But wait till you hear this. Esther hits 30 times.
Yeah. Well, we all knew Esther was strong, so that
Yeah,
doesn't
that's true.
surprise me.
She's OP.
Yeah, yeah, Esther is OP. Okay. Nice. So did you get one or you just got one to pity?
Yeah, well, I went all the way to pity and got one extra copy on the way. So thankfully, like
Oh, nice.
it was pretty average luck wise, but it gets me the two STMRs, so it's
That's really
fine.
nice. That's really nice.
Yeah,
I
so
like this
5 off
was
banners.
And I've talked about Roberta so much, and I've been complaining about my luck lately, and I was in the dumps. But this game, like I'm not a religious man. I do not believe in higher powers. But I fucking got Roberta on the first ticket on the banner.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
that's what happened. All right, I was like, what the? And I have 0 lapis. I have 1
Oh
ticket,
dear.
and I got Roberta. And I'm like, okay, this was meant to be. Like if
Yeah,
there's a higher power, thank you. But
I didn't get my first copy until I was what, like 40, or no, not 40, like 30k deep or something.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's.
did
Well, I
the
mean
full
that's
card
the
step
average
up
to
with the
expect,
copy.
really, right? Like that's
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna look at anyway.
it
But
was very much an average pull result, which for me is good,
yeah,
to
yeah.
be honest.
I should have seen Censar. He got like easy EX3 from going. Well, he went to pity, but he got like 3 or 4 Robertas or something. So
Oh, wow,
yeah.
classic.
Um, but yeah, so 2 STMRs. You want to use 2 STMRs on her. One comment about that I realized before, they're actually pretty tricky to go through item world because you kind of want to use them in both forms, and
Mm.
the weapon itself is 200 attack, 200 magic. But you're gonna have to be thinking carefully about what enchantments you're gonna get for it in item world.
Yeah, I'll probably have like one slightly more attack focused, one slightly more magic focused.
Yeah, actually, Leo said something really smart in Discord. He said that, or I think it was Leo. I don't know if I'm misattributing, but he said that one thing you should consider is going magic on both because physical killers often have versions tied to attack bonuses,
Mm. I
which
find
makes sense.
yeah, that's true for some of the STMR ones. Like the trial ones, at least, often have 40% attack plus magic. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's not too big deal.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, like one thing that I did with one of my runs for her STMR was go with 2 magic stats, and then I got the rare, which is 20 attack, 20 HP, and then I just chose that.
Yeah.
Feels like a nice trade-off, kind of.
Just go for the 30% attack mag, easy clap.
Oh my god, it's Shadow. Hey,
It has
Shadow.
arrived.
Hi,
So how is it being a dad?
it's great. Save me.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, like, hey, nice, nice. You're still alive. That's good, right?
So for Roberta, I think the 1 2 cent that I have is that she has an ugly ass sprite, and I will get
Oh
stoned.
my god, we're gonna fight. Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna fight today. Okay.
Wrong opinion alert.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's such a wrong opinion. Like her sprite is great. Okay, listen, but I want to hear your opinion because I respect you, Shadow. So tell me, what is ugly about this sprite? Why are you so dumb?
Okay, so her original sprite was already bad, and then they
What?
doubled down on it.
Okay, but okay, but you have to drill down. Now you have to give us like what is bad about it. You have to give us some
It
details.
tends to be a dragoon thing, but their armors are like overloaded. There's too much shit going on, and then
So you want like more of the swimsuit sprites.
no, I think like Noctis's sprite is pretty good, or
Yeah,
Sephiroth's sprite's pretty good.
but
Like I
Noctis
don't want
doesn't
spiky
wear
armors.
armor
I hate
Buying
though.
black
spiky armors.
clothes.
It's so dumb.
Like, is your problem that she has boobs? Because you mentioned 2 dudes. Just asking.
If you want me to name a good female sprite, I think Aerith's sprite is really good.
Okay, but Aerith's okay, yeah. I mean, sure, but Aerith's sprite is very much what she looks like in game. Okay, let me throw another one at you. How about
Like if we're talking about recent like Glex units,
yeah,
I'd say Yigni was a favorite,
right. So
and
how about Sky? Like how's
yeah,
Sky's
Skies is
designed?
great. Skies is great.
Wait, but aren't they pretty similar though?
No, they're really different.
Because like my problem with Sky is that she has this armor skirt, which I think is like really weird. Like you don't wear armor skirts. Roberta, she wears fucking armor. And then she like really removes that armor in Brave Shift, but that's a different thing.
I guess the base shift is good, but it's the brave shift that drives me nuts sometimes. It's like I hate it when they fuse. I don't hate it, but this one looks ugly. Like when they fuse, like the
We should get Hazard in here because I think he also has opinions on the fusing sprites.
like I don't. Some of them are really good. Like the Efert Rain one, that's really good. The Sakura one's terrible. The Nicole one's ugly, and then this one's just the ugly side. So yeah, I think the sprite's ugly.
All right, listen, I'm gonna respect your opinion and disagree with it, but respect it. Like I'm gonna disagree, but respect it. All right, so have you pulled for her, Shadow?
No, I haven't. I don't think I'll pull for her. If I get her, I'll be happy, but I don't think I'll pull for her.
All right, all right. Okay, so what did we miss, Dream? Did we miss anything now about the kit?
Did you guys talk about the card in the STMR?
Yeah, I was gonna say the card's probably the next thing.
Yeah, so let's talk about her card first, I guess, and then about the
Yeah,
purchased card, right?
Two cards to look at here.
Right, right. So I guess her card isn't really that special, right?
No, not really. It's got fine attack and magic base and some stats. It's probably technically the best hybrid card now, if anyone cared about that.
Yeah, you can gear your Elenas with it.
Got 50% Dragon Killer on it for FFBE units, I guess.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like it's a fine card, but it's probably not your first pick on most units.
Yeah, I was arguing with Sinzar on Newsday that like because he was calling the card bad, but that was coming from a point of like, if it's not usable, it's bad.
Yeah.
And I understand what he means.
Like a top tier or bust mindset.
Yeah, I know. Like Mega Whale Sinzar says 115 attack card is bad. I get that. But I still think it's usable. I still think like you're gonna find a place where you're gonna want that killer and the attack stat or the magic stat.
I mean, it's basically it's like a side grade to Ling's card, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same base attack and 50% attack.
Yeah, definitely.
With
That's okay.
the magic
It's okay.
side as well.
Should we mention our TMR as well? Like we didn't say anything about it. It's not special though.
I think it is worth a mention because it's an equipped spear with with good stats on it, and with her spear in peril, it's pretty big.
The equipped spear is like the one notable thing about it. Otherwise, it's just like a regular stat materia.
This would kind of allow you to not bring Louise when you're bringing Lara and just have Lara use a spear instead, for instance. That's true.
Yeah. I think a lot of units that like really want spears can already equip them anyway, so it's usually not too big a deal. But yeah, it can be a bit of extra attack compared to regular equipped spear.
Yeah, easier.
She has 35% in peril, right, for her spear, or was it 30?
Just 30. So same as Sky, and same as like Esther's Greatsword one and stuff as well.
Right.
Did you guys talk about the STMR having? So someone needs to explain this to me. It has an increased ability modifier 10 times. Is that just to Roberta or everyone? Because in the wiki, it's worded as if it's for everyone.
No, that whole passive, a dragoon called Crimson Death, is exclusive to Reberta.
Oh, okay.
And it's part of that. So yeah, just for her. And I think we did kind of already mention that you want the
that you kind of
STMR
want to
passive.
and it's a bigger deal for her jump, I want to say, because that's where you see the big multiplication.
The mod boost is definitely key on the jump.
Yeah, because like on cow abilities, like on morale abilities, they already have such huge modifiers, so that like 10 is a fart in space.
Yeah, like 1,000 to 1,020 per cast. Not doing that much.
But for jump, definitely gonna make a mark. So so I really hope my dailies are gonna land me another Roberta. I really do. That would be fucking amazing. But let's see. So let's talk a bit about should we go into cow or should we talk about Rizer shard compensation? Maybe we should just mention that first.
Well, we mentioned her card, but there's also the like premium card from the end of her step up.
Yes, good point.
Yeah, and that's a slightly sort of superior option for her.
Yeah, I don't have that either, obviously, since I don't have Lapis, but yeah.
Yeah, I got it. But yeah, so that only has 110 base attack and magic, same as the other GLX cards that we've got. But it's got that 300 flat attack and magic, some fire ice lightning resistance, the same 50% attack and magic that her card has, and some jump damage for FFBE units. So like it's mainly the 300 flat stats that make it a bit better. But as a convenient bonus, I think with 2 of her STMR and that card, her shift form caps jump damage innately.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice.
That's nice and efficient.
But Just a question. How much attack does she lose compared to using a premium card of 125 base?
Well, at base it would be 15 times 5, so 75 attack from the base, plus like another 45 to 60 from buffs, and then like 200 flat if you're comparing to one that actually gives her 500, but I don't think any of the current premium ones do.
Yeah, no. No, I was just thinking of the comparison of 300 flat attack on the GLEX card with 110 base compared to just 125 base. Like what's how much are you losing by not having the GLEX card?
Probably it should be between 150 and 200 worse.
Yeah, so still a fair bit, right? Like it's still a good bit
But
of
I
a loss.
mean,
So.
that's pretty close when your totals are like 7,000-8,000.
Yeah, I guess. Mine aren't yet. Like my EX0 Roberta only clocks in at like 5,600 magic or something. So, but I can't wait until she grows up to be a big girl and do big girl damage.
In short, missing the card isn't going to make or break anything.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about the card. We've talked about the other card. Now maybe we should jump into oh yeah, as I said, let's just mention Rizer because I think Cow is going to be a bigger discussion. So Dream, I guess you're happy
Yeah.
about this because you were struggling getting a Rizer.
This is something I think they've handled surprisingly well. So obviously
yeah.
there was like, because of the box summon RNG, there's been a bit of like discontent about how half of the players can't get access to Rizer for this DV. So
It's
in
almost
return for that,
surprising how competent the response was.
yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised by this. So they've given
Actually,
the rest of the Rizer box summon tickets early. So now we can all
honestly,
get them.
uncharacteristic for them, but yeah,
Yeah,
they
I'm
actually
surprised.
fixed a player problem here.
And yeah, so I'm happy that now I actually get a chance to use my own strategy on this DV.
Right,
To watching everyone else succeed with it.
yeah, I've been seeing people posting screenshots in Discord of them using it, like seeing like wicked, like 14 billion numbers or 14 million, no, 14 billion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, on Rizer alone, and like everyone else is doing like 200. That's funny to see, but it caps. So hey,
Well, not caps, but it gets a pretty high score. You
exactly.
can't cap, but certainly a very solid score, and I'm
Yeah.
very happy about that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm happy that your strategy worked. You told us
it was
about it
like,
last time.
yeah, and I made a Reddit post about it if you prefer a text version, but didn't see that.
Yeah,
But
and I
yeah,
also
like
heard.
after 6 months of like, will this actually work? It's a fun plan, but I don't know. So finally seeing it pay off has been very fun.
Yeah, and I think Wanderer said they had been doing some tests with your strat in emulators and found that like Hawkeye and Lightning are really good.
Yeah. There's some other like chain frame combos that seem to work quite well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I am super happy for that. So hey, you need to post your clear as well once you get it.
Yeah. Well, mine won't be great because I don't have any of the 90% defense breakers still. So
Really?
I'm a little
Not even
limited.
lock?
But yeah, nope. Well, I just don't want to crown lock.
Oh, come on. But like that's one of the better things to crown. Like what the fuck are you gonna crown? What are you doing? Hoarding those?
Yeah, for now, like I considered Adele, but probably not. And then like Varian might be good, or I don't know.
I mean, there's like I know I'm a Final Fantasy 6 fan, but honestly, now that we have Roberta, so before I would say there were 3 units worth crowning. Now there's only 2. One of them is Terra for the niche use of wanting to use her fields, and the second one is Lock if you don't have a 90% breaker, which you don't. So like, I really don't get it. You should just get Lock.
I've got 89 from Cacteria, and it's like that kind of feels good enough.
89? Cacteria doesn't have 89.
No, with her one use grandest ones that are single stat, those are 89
Yeah,
now.
Cacteria does 89.
Oh shit! Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Fine. I mean, it's still a difference, especially in DV when there's zero passives.
Like a 10% boost in DV or something, but
yeah.
like
okay.
I'm not exactly tryharding anyway.
No, me neither. I'm just enjoying DV because I realize that when tryharding, I just lose enjoyment of the game. So I just enjoy creating my own team and seeing how far I get with no builder or anything. Just just doing my own stuff, and I do fairly good still. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a bit about Cow. We're getting this weird seahorse mermaid dragon thing that actually has a very cool sprite.
Looks like something straight out of Dark Souls.
Well, no, but thanks for trying.
No, there is somebody posted a picture and it did look like it. So I thought
It was
I thought
quite
it was sweet.
similar, but like I think pretty much any kind of like aquatic themed dragon design is going to be fairly similar to that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
So, has any one of you done anything serious on it yet?
No, I've only been awake for like an hour and a half.
Dude, if Sinzar posts a video of a clear without Esther or Roberta, I'll do it.
Yeah, well, I think that so the only clear he has done is with Esther and Roberta and Chow in it. And so it's a bit of a messy fight. We don't really know how to work it yet, I think, or I don't know. Maybe somebody out there does. So up until like I think you can get, if you have a properly geared Terra, I think you can get to like level 97 by just using your Terra to nuke with a properly set up team. You can do it T1 because I don't remember the level right now, but somewhere in Echelon 5, boss gets mitigations turn 1. So you kind of have to use Terra to kill it. And what you do is you want to bring it below 50% on turn 1 because then the AI only does a gravity. So you can then kill it on turn 2. And I could only do that with my Terra until 97. But granted, I did not make my Terra 130 though. So maybe you can get it higher. So Sinzar, like the only, so the big problem, or I'm just going to share what the problem is. I'm not going to go too much into details. So the problem is that the boss does a cover piercing non-elemental magic AoE that hits really, really hard, like too hard. So I am suspecting there's a way to turn that off, to do something with the AI to turn it off. And the only clear I've seen so far is Sinzar's, where Sinzar is spamming Celeste's base form LB to get that huge mitigation, general, magical, and the racial one.
Yeah, I think I worked out it should like that LB should be like 97.6% effective mitigation from those 3 buffs combining.
And let me now explain how hard the boss hits. So with 97% mitigation, it still hits your party for 3.5k several times. So it's strong. And yeah, you can imagine what happens if you don't have that mitigation on. So I don't know. I am pretty sure it has to be able to be turned off because otherwise, I don't know. And I've spent all my orbs just experimenting, trying to figure out what it is. Like, is it hitting with a certain element or not LBing and so on? And I really can't. Well, I haven't actually tried not LBing yet on turn 1. Maybe that's something to try. The boss also debuffs you with reduced healing, which is actually pretty interesting. It was quite a powerful reduced healing. Again, yeah. So I wonder maybe like another mechanic is to just dispel yourself and heal up to full or something, because I haven't tried that either. But I'm gonna experiment a bit more tonight.
Should be interesting, and I mean we'll get the AI data mine at some point and be able to like properly navigate it.
Yeah, I think this is fun though. I think it's fun to kind of just try it out and see what happens. At this point, like I would enjoy, so Gumi, take this idea and run with it as you've taken all my ideas, because basically all good things in this game are thanks to me, so you're welcome. No, but jokes aside, you know what I would like, guys? I would like the ability to be able to run Cow without getting a score. Do you know what I mean?
Do like a practice run.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, run against the boss and just, doesn't matter how hard you burst, you get to just play the boss and it doesn't cost an orb.
Yeah. Or make it the same as like energy on stages you haven't cleared before, where if you lose, it gets refunded.
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah. I mean, that would beat the purpose a bit because they should be somehow consumable or
I think they could also just give out like orbs like they do with raid orbs, don't they? Or item world orbs.
Yeah. I don't know. I would just like the ability to test these things out without it costing an orb, because like I can have I can easily do 10 experiments and then all orbs are gone. Which is not fun because I still want to play, but I can't. So I'd like to be able to do like a practice run. If there was a separate button to just do a practice run that doesn't record your score, that'd be great.
I could see it, I guess, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hoping like hearing about these wave attacks. I'm hoping that this isn't another attrition where there just isn't a way to avoid it, and you do just need that like one or two very specific units to be able to just survive the incoming damage. Because
Yeah.
that, like to date, I think attrition is still, in my opinion, the least fun Clash boss that we've gotten.
No, I agree. Anything, and I've said this so many times before, anything that makes that party building window narrow is anti-fun for me. Like, for instance, in this case, if it's you have to bring Celeste, I mean, okay, so I actually like Celeste. I don't mind bringing her, but maybe I would like to do a different type of clear.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
think more the problem is if people don't have that one specific unit, they can become completely locked out of even clearing those higher stages.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
because of what they said like a couple months back about slightly changing their cow design philosophy around just being able to clear, I sort of doubt, or at least hope, that won't be the case, and that
Yeah,
there will
I'm
be an
honestly
AI way to
hoping.
turn off that attack.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's some type of AI thing where you have to not use an LB or a certain combination of elements or something like that. Anyway,
The only issue here is that cow is limited time. If cow was a permanent thing, like let's just say scoring was limited, but clearing and the clear rewards were permanent, this wouldn't be an issue at all. I think like they
no,
could
yeah.
lock it.
Listen, I agree because I think people should be able to enjoy cow bosses, but I would never run cow unless it gives me score. Like I would not return
Really,
to
not just for
cow
the clear
later.
rewards, because I think like here's the issue right now is that if somebody started 3 months ago, I doubt they would have enough to clear cow in the last 2 months. That means they're missing out on all the clear rewards, which tend to be pretty big, especially for new players.
Yeah,
So
but they are seasons though. Like I mean,
yeah, I
it
guess.
is it's created in a way where it's supposed to kind of be this time limited content, and you're rewarded for playing then and there, right? So, I mean, I could just see them having the bosses as fun challenges for players, but I would honestly not play this boss once the reward season is over. So, yeah.
I think they could still do it as like a chamber thing where like after the clash ends, they add a permanent version as like just a regular trial boss with say
Yeah,
more
sure.
health.
Can
Just
reward
bump
one
health
yellow
up,
ticket or some shit and just like
you know,
exist.
500 lapis.
Or 500 lapis, fine, fine.
100, take it or leave it.
Yeah. So yeah, it will be nice. Will be nice. But listen, Gumi, practice mode, practice mode. I would really like that because I enjoy experimenting on these bosses, but I don't enjoy realizing all my orbs are out. And I get it, like, okay, you want people to use lapis, but come on, can you actually use lapis to refresh cow orbs?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure it's got the same 100 lapis to refill.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, then they probably don't want to add a practice mode.
No,
Okay, never mind.
no, that is
Never
probably the main
mind.
incentive.
Yeah, the Rizer thing was good enough. Okay, like let's not expect too much.
Yeah.
As a wise woman once said, expect disappointment, and you will never be disappointed.
Oh, you too watch Spider-Man.
Yeah, only recently I bought it when it came out. Okay, but now we don't even talk about FFBE anymore. So I think we need to
I
call
know
it.
I'm a week late, but I do appreciate that Rizer thing you did, Dream, because it's fucking hilarious. It's so
Yeah,
fucking
I love that
hilarious.
so much just for how much of a meme it is.
I
Like
mean,
it's
it's
probably
not even a
it's
meme though. Like it
it's
actually
probably the
works.
best
It
thing to
isn't a
happen in
meme.
FFB in a long time.
Yeah, it takes a big brain to do what you did, Dream.
Identify one skill that might work with another.
All right, so Dream, I'm expecting more memes from you in the next 2 months, so I'll
Yeah.
be looking forward to it.
I'll try my best.
Nobody saw that coming either. Like nobody, when they were designing Bulwark, saw that coming, and now it's like a really strong and interesting I mean, it's so strong and interesting that many players will just be able to pull it off as long as they have some of these units, but need no gear for it at all. And that's what I love about it.
The only absolutely mandatory unit for it is Bulwark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
also the
and
gear.
Rizer.
I think that there's some limited time gear that we thought would be shit. Well, it turns out it's not shit.
Not if you have Rizer.
Like Silver Rifle is really nice for capping that crit rate easily, but it is actually like very viable to just use the permanent crit gear, 20-sided dice and Loyal Warrior.
Oh yeah, so you don't
you
have
don't
to
really
go
need the
full.
limited stuff.
Okay, nice.
I just find it hilarious that on the banner that Dark Rain and Roggen came out in, we have this meme unit becoming the top damage dealer. So great week.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit special. It's the top damage dealer, but it's the only damage dealer in that team. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
As
you have to
Dream
build
said
a whole team
before,
around it.
yeah, and as Dream said before, like if you want to get a high score, you're not using Rizer. Or if you
well,
want to get the highest score, sorry, not high score, you definitely get using Rizer. But if you want to cap or get the highest score, you're gonna be probably not using Rizer.
no, you probably have a full EX3 whale team of like Graf and Kane and all that.
Yeah,
Still.
exactly. But I'm gonna say, so people are doing like 14 billion with Rizer, give or take, as they're posting in Discord. And
I think it's
my
gotten as
very
high as around 16, 17 with like max optimization.
yeah, and my naive run of this DV's last boss, where I just geared everything myself, I think I did like 6, if I remember correctly, which is like, I mean, that's still a strong team. That's like the Grafs and the Laras and the shit. And I still did much less. I don't know. Maybe I also fucked up, but yeah, it was funny. Like, it's a fun comparison.
Anyway, I think that's enough rambling.
It is. It definitely is. Like, it's getting late. I have to go to bed. Even though Dream, you have to go eat breakfast and do other
Pretty
things with your
much.
life.
You have life outside of FFBE? Gasp.
Yeah, only a little bit.
All right, listen, boys and girls. I think it is time to call it for this episode, right?
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Just stop talking.
Let's just stop. So I will say something lewd soon. So we just like cut here.